My buddy and me, my buddy would be like to climb up a tree. So, you got buddy and me, slashing my throat and me. So definitely, it touched on, I can't even remember when it came out, dude. It was just like more.
I think it's 89, the year I was born.
Shit, 89. Oh man, 89. That's when I found rap, dog. I found like gangster rap. So you know where I was at. I found chicks. But I remember those. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Chucky did well. I know Chucky did well. Then Chucky 2. And then...
Chucky 2 is my favorite, man.
Is that the one when they're in the science lab?
The factory.
Is that... Yeah.
They end up in the factory at the end, and you have that really... And he cuts off his... He takes off his hand and puts the knife.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I hate kids. So,
and then, they incorporated, like, the voodoo. And, the strong... the strength of that, and then to... take over anything, because I remember growing up with the movie like inanimate objects, like the car would be possessed. There was another movie out there, I remember.
Christine.
Christine. There was another movie where there was like this black Lincoln. And
what about Maximum Overdrive?
Yeah, that's a good age. That's a definitely good one. But that gives you more of like this cosmic alien invasion. You know what I mean? But there was another movie. I don't know if you remember. There was another movie back in the 70s about a semi truck that was on the road, and this is guy, and he's like in this typical normal 4-door red car or something. Like he's a businessman and he's running through the desert and he's being chased by this semi truck, and the semi truck basically is like possessed.
No.
Yeah, that's one. And then there's another one where it's like a black Lincoln with red tint or something like that, and that's possessed by the devil. And they find out that the car can't enter holy ground when they go into this old cemetery, and so, yeah, objects being possessed does well, because you can relate to them, like... well,
possession is scary, man.
Oh, possession is very scary, brother.
Yeah, it's something I feel like it never falls out. Everything else, I feel like, it becomes uncool for at least a period of time. Sometimes it'll come back, but possession is always there in the back of your mind, because it literally, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is. Like you talk about The Exorcist, and what was the other one? The possession of Emily
Rose, yeah.
Emily Rose. Oh, when you go into her dorm room when she's all tweaked out. You're just like that. Those movies right there. Those are basic. Those are movies that you would put on your shelf. Like, dude, this is a scary movie, dude.
Yeah, some real shit.
Yeah, because they incorporate, things that we live with, like, when she's speaking Aramaic. That's that's one of the first languages out there, civilized man, and so when you incorporate that into Chucky, and Chucky with the voodoo, with slavery, and they come from Africa, and like it touches on that part right there. I think it was good timing timing from the makers, producers, screenwriters.
The voodoo thing always threw me off, because it's like there were so many other ways that they could have done that, and so it's kind of off kilter that's the thing that they used. You know what I mean? But it makes sense, because it's kind of it's so crazy that you kind of just accept it.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely gives an insight on. If you're talking about the character, getting in depth of the character, who he was, and the gangster and the villain that he was, basically being notorious, gave you depth on his background, because by him being part of that, understanding that culture, You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to get into the character, and, it's like, dude, learning voodoo, it's not...
Charles Lee Ray, man.
You don't
the
learn
Hillside
it
Strangler.
Yeah, you don't learn it overnight, dude. You have to be,
he had kind of adopted this religion, kind of, right? Or culture.
But, but when you
used it for evil. And used it for evil.
Definitely. And that's what it is, dude. That's, religion always does well in movies. It always does, dude. It always does because we're grown up with it, And if you could put a twist on it,
yeah. Even if you don't believe it's interesting enough to see like where are they going with this or what take are they gonna have on on this subject. So,
yeah.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah. So it did well, and then like everyone wants to see a part 2. And it's probably hard on the creators and the screenwriters and the story writers about like, I don't have a part 2, bro.
But not for Chucky, man, because they're still going at it.
Yeah,
strong.
they are, dude. It does well, but then it's just a freelance. It's like, dude, who's ever have stories to bring? You've seen the Chucky, you've seen this. Let's make a story together because it's just not one cat putting it together. There's several of those guys. Speaking
of that, we have there's a television series that's going to be coming out for Child's Play.
It might do well. The first season will probably do well.
Yeah, I think so, man.
I think it will do well.
I think Chucky has such a big following that they're going to see it just out of curiosity. You know what I mean? Brad Dourif, that voice, like, talk about the birth of an icon, man. Brad Dourif, there will never be, because they have a remake of Child's Play being developed right now too. So we're going to have the TV series and the remake simultaneously. And but I guess the original filmmakers, right, are all on the side of the television series, and they refused. They said no to the remake, that they didn't want to have any part of it, which means Brad Dourif is not lending his voice to this new iteration of the killer doll, which is now a killer robot with artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
And of course, that's another play on where we're at in society and how technology has become so insane that we have these, robots that can be hacked and turned into killers now. That's where they're going with it, which I think is pretty interesting. I'll probably watch it, but having not having that voice, I think it's wrong that they're going to call it Child's Play still, you know what I mean?
So the guy that did the voice of Chucky is not on board with it?
No, he said no, I'll never.
Wasn't that so that's the guy that embodied Chucky, right?
He was that actor,
he was in the movie Dune. I was talking to you about. Yeah.
He's in the Lord of the Rings. He's in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
But moving on, so we can jump into our
main focus.
Sure. Pumpkinhead is my last recommendation. It's Halloween.
Oh, man, I remember that. Yeah.
Perfect Halloween movie. It's streaming now on Hulu. If you have Hulu, check it out. It's basically this kind of straight up tale of revenge. It's old school 80s revenge, right? So this dad, his son is killed, and he kind of summons this fucking demon to take his to take his vengeance back on all these kids.
I think I actually saw Pumpkin in
the theater.
Movies. Yeah, in the theaters. That whole horror and if any recommendations I would recommend for the month of October would definitely be Sleepy Hollow. Because you're talking about.
So you change your mind? Now you got some, huh?
I do. You're thinking about, because, Ichabod Crane. I remember growing up, that was always a Disney classic of watching, Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. So, yeah, I would definitely. And that taps on to the question you talk about Johnny Depp. Because he's in it. And I definitely enjoy that movie, Christopher Walken is in it, and he's not casted as your typical, Christopher Walken's in his movies, and everyone remembers him in Pulp Fiction, and I had this hunk of metal up my ass.
I love how that's your reference to Mr. Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember him because he was in the Deer Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Suicide Kings?
Suicide Kings, I remember that one.
That Fatboy Slim video.
Christopher Walken has a good narrating voice. I like his voice. He has a good voice.
Phantasm, right? He did a few of those.
Shit, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I'm giving. Yeah, but yeah. My boy's laughing at me. He's like,
I don't know.
I don't know about those things. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop making me look stupid right now.
Stop making me look stupid. I'm doing a good job about it already. No, man. No, but if anything, man, I appreciate you letting me be a part of this as well.
Of course, man.
I enjoyed it.
It's been fun. This is probably one of the more different. It's cool. Like you took my structure and you're spinning it your way, and it's really cool to kind of see this unfold because it's going to be, I think, a very, very different episode than anything we've done before. So, thank you for.
I appreciate it, definitely, man. I appreciate you, dude. I know you're a very bright young man.
Thank you.
Yeah, every time we've spoken about a lot of things, dude, and I've always, we've had good talk, man.
Yeah.
I say we've had really good talk, and I take that to heart. I hold that to me dearly with people that, when you hold a decent conversation, I love it, dude. I love it. And it's just, that's who I am. I like to speak on a lot of things.
Because it's not easy. I've noticed, working with such diverse people and stuff, it's really hard to have meaningful conversation.
Oh yeah,
with people like everyday people, the people that you see all the time. Nobody sees eye to eye, or even if you don't, just being able to kind of speculate on that or share your thoughts and stuff. No one's really into doing that now, and and it's because everybody has their face in their cell phones or social media.
Oh, that's terrible, dog.
It's like this new kind of epidemic, and I do it too. But I know when I can put it down, you know what I mean? Like when I'm in the theater and I'm trying to enjoy, like when I was in Halloween, I didn't pick up my phone.
Oh, never. No.
You know what I mean? And that's important. So I'm glad that there's still people around that can engage people face to face.
Oh, it's very important, man. That's how you see when somebody's digging you, bro, in any platform. And I'm digging this, dude. When you spoke on it, I was like, dude, that is cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? And then you giving me a little insight on how, it inspired you and the person that inspired you. And, it's like, I totally dig it, bro, because, that director, that screenwriter, that actor, Kevin.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when he first came out with Clerks. Dude, I thought Clerks was that's one of my top shelf movies. And the Jane Silent Bob and the whole storyline because I've seen him interview and I've seen him talk and he's definitely had an impact on those independents.
Yeah, man.
He's definitely had it. It's like saying anyone can do it, bro. It's not an exclusive club. And that's how entertainment in Hollywood started, bro, with those cats that it wasn't an exclusive club. It's so powerful that you think it is.
Yeah. You just gotta believe in yourself and stop. And don't let people, because everything,
balls, brother.
Yeah, everything's based on whether you're discouraged or not. You can't let people. There's been like Eli Roth, his fucking Cabin Fever, the first film he ever made.
Oh yeah, I love that movie, dude.
That movie was rejected like 19 times.
Oh my god,
man.
Fuck no, dude. I love that fucking movie, bro.
You know, so
how can you not like that movie? You know?
Yeah, anything can happen. You know,
yeah.
You just gotta be persistent, and not for film, not for podcasts, not for anything. You just gotta believe in yourself and keep it going, keep those gears turning, no matter what.
Always, brother.
You know what I mean?
And you know, there's enough for everybody. There's enough. Everyone on this planet likes to be entertained in a different way. Mm-hmm. So, you know.